Welcome back, everybody. It's Chris Garcia, the Divine Madman here, and I'm going to do a card reading for Gemini 2018 for the last 2 days of April and the first week of May. So, pretty much the next 10 days from April 29th through May 6th or 7th. So the next 10 days for Gemini in 2018, April through May, the beginning of May. Um, I'm going to start off with the Tai Chi one card pull reading to take with us to through this through this reading and for the rest of the 10 days. Keep this into perspective, keep it in your mind, meditate on it, ponder on it. And the card I'm pulling for the card for this reading and for the next 10 days to take with you is friendship. There it is. The friendship card. And it says, the value of true friendship and the sharing of simple pleasures is priceless. The value of friendship and the sharing of simple pleasures is priceless. Right? And that's a very good advice. Take that with you. That's a nice words for you to take with you to the reading and to the next 10 days, Gemini. We're going to move on to a Celtic cross reading, a general reading for Gemini. Hopefully this gives Gemini some insight and perspective as to what you might expect, some pitfalls to avoid, and how to handle some situations that might come up, and maybe there's some good news in there, something to expect. But life is what we make it. Happiness is a choice, and some people find that hard to believe, but it really is. And if you put it into practice, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that with practice and time, you'll learn to um, get out of those funky moods a little quicker, with a little more spice in your life, and have a little more joy in your life because you're giving it to yourself. All right, Gemini for April 18th through the beginning of May. And we're going to start the Celtic cross reading. Make some room here. It's a pretty big reading. There's 10 cards. Celtic cross starts with card on top, card above, card below, card on the side, right side, left side, and then 4 cards up next to it. And the first card in the Celtic cross is the one. It's your situation right now as we speak. And we have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords says that out of conflict comes a resolution and peace. You're going to come out on top of that conflict. You're going to have the lessons learned, and you're going to be able to move forward to the next phase of your life because you have learned lessons through this conflict and you have mastered the lesson to be learned. And I'm going to go ahead and read the divinatory meaning so that you know the actual textbook reading on the Ace of Swords. And it says, on a divinatory level, the Ace of Swords implies that out of conflict, some new creative viewpoint will emerge. The mental powers are awakening, and it means change in one's life. The old order is threatened, and conflicts are bound to arise. Ultimately, a resolution will be possible, and there is an inevitability of collision and struggle before such a peace is in sight. So pretty much exactly what I said. So the card on top of the situation card that's going on for Gemini is the card that crosses you, and that it's not necessarily a card. It's what might be either helping or hurting your situation. And it's the Two of Wands. Wands is a card of um, power, uh, royalty. There's also a card of sexuality. Um, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm not really getting anything clear on that as to what it pertains to the conflict that you're going to overcome. But we're going to go ahead and read the divinatory meaning, and then we'll get more perspective on what it might mean. On a divinatory level, the Two of Wands heralds uh, a, found, a fundamental, wait, oh, a formulation of a new aim, idea, or goal, or creative project. This new idea may not be the final shape of the future, but it is full of potential and significant to lure the individual out of his or her present confines into a new creative venture. Everything here depends upon the courage of the individual to take on new ideas up with both hands and put faith in that invisible creative power which has generated the vision of the new path. So, Gemini, you have a vision, you have a creative, uh, something that you're good at doing that's creative, and you're going to use it to mm, try to make it a successful business. And you're going to have a great, you just have to have that courage, which you do have, and believe in yourself and get it done. Okay? So now we're moving on. So conflict, you aced it. Now you have a different perspective. Your creative juices are flowing. You want to make some money. Okay, right. So now we're going to go to the top card for Gemini in 2018. And we're going to go to the card, the crowning card, the card right above those two cards, and it is the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is a card of emotion. There's a lot of there was some emotional turmoil, but you've come to terms with it. You've learned some lessons from the emotional turmoil, and hopefully you can move forward. And in order to do that, you got to not be looking at the three cups that have fallen in the past, but look at the two cups you have in front of you that are completely full. Um, so the Five of Cups, I'm going to go ahead and read the divinatory meaning of the Five of Cups. And Five of Cups. On a divinatory level, the Five of Cups implies regret over actions someone has got someone something has gone wrong. A betrayal has occurred, and there is sadness and remorse. Separation in a relationship can occur, but this card does not argue a final ending. Sometimes something remains which can be worked on, and it is up to the individual to take up the challenge and make the commitment for the future. So, something that happened in the past, there was a betrayal, there's some guilt involved, you gotta let that go. Uh, this doesn't mean there's an end. This card doesn't mean that to end the relationship. It means that there was something that went awry, and you all have to deal with it because this relationship has can be salvaged, and it has a lot of potential. I believe this is uh, your soulmate. All right, we all have problems. We all have issues. It's not. Relationships aren't easy, and they test. You get tested through the fire, and you come out stronger. Okay. All right. Now we have the card that lies beneath you, and this card is a card that what you don't really see that is affecting the outside influences of this problem. Okay, and the outside influences uh, is the Death card. Death card's a good card. It's not a bad card. It means the end of something old, the leaving behind of things that are useless to us, as far as maybe habits, bad decisions, bad people, and moving forward. And death means rebirth, a new chapter in your life. And So I'm going to go ahead and read the divinatory meaning of the death card. And it says, sorry about that. On a divinatory level, the card of death implies that something must come to an end. Whether or not the experience is painful depends upon the person's capacity to accept and recognize the necessity of the endings. The card of death can argue an opportunity for a new life if one can let go of one's old one. Thus, the fool enters the underworld, leaving behind him his previous life to prepare for an unknown future. Okay? So if it's not working with what you're doing and you want to make it work, then you got to try something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Okay? So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to what is beside you. And this is the card of uh, what your influences you can see that are affecting this situation, either whether negative or positive, and it is the Queen of Wands. Like I said, Wands, she's a strong empress, she's a strong queen, she's a queen of fertility, she's wise, kind, takes care of family, uh, she wants well for everyone. If you have a problem, you can come to her, and she will give you great advice. She'll be a great mentor. Do not cross her. Uh, it usually means that there's a pregnancy, or not necessarily a child pregnancy, but a conceived idea or new project that you're going to have to nurture like a child in order for it to grow. And we have when the Queen of Wands appears in a spread, it is time for the individual to begin to develop these qualities of warmth, consistency, loyalty, creative enthusiasm, of vision, and so symbolizes. The Queen of Wands may enter one's life as such an imaginative and magnetic woman, full of life, but if such a person enters one's sphere, it is not by chance, but rather an arduary that the individual is about to meet these attributes within themselves. So there's probably some attributes that you, Gemini, uh, have inside of you, and that you're going to need to take you along this journey. And remember to be warm, be kind, uh, be consistent, be loyal, be creative, uh, sustain your vision. You're magnetic, you're imaginative, and you need to remember that. And remember, don't be always so down on yourself, Gemini. Okay. So we're gonna go to the card is the what is not so prevalent as far as what you feel. Your conscious, your unconscious, your your unconscious mind, what your mind um, thinks, why you do things the way you do them. You think you do them for one reason consciously, but subconsciously, there's really a subconscious reason that you do them. And this might surprise some people, but it's the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords means that you're going to have not only a coming together of uh, resolving a conflict, but in celebration of a success coming out of that conflict, and everyone coming out good, and you being praised and rewarded for your efforts in this battle, and coming out. Maybe your ideas weren't accepted, and initially people were that you were teamed up with were upset about your decision, but went ahead and let you go with it, and you ended up being 100% correct, and everybody benefited from it. So the Five of Swords. Five of Swords. On a divinatory level, the Five of Swords argues the necessity of facing one's own limits and recognizing that life needs to be lived within the confines of one's capabilities. Often there is a situation where the individual has taken on too much and must swallow pride and back off, facing honesty what is possible facing honestly what is possible before moving forward. So I was a little off, but you have too much on your plate. You want to do too many things at one time. You need to focus on the important things that are ahead, knock those out, and then go on to the next. But you can't. You're juggling too many things. Nothing's going to be successful because it's all going to be too little, too late. Too hastily done. And so you want to pick the maybe one or two most important things that you need to get done and execute them with perfection. All right, for success. All right, we're going to move on, and we have the past influence card. And the past influence that you're having to take you with you through this journey is the sun card. The sun card's a very good card. Sun, you're bathing in the sun, you're basking in the glory, uh, your family's good, you're good, your health is good, everything's sunny in Philadelphia. So I'm going to go ahead and read the divinatory meaning of the sun card. And this the divinatory level. The card of Apollo, the sun god, argues a time of clarity, optimism, renewal, trust. It is possible to understand the pattern, to plan for the future, to move forward. The curses of the night are dispelled, and the fool is now armed with the foresight, purpose, and faith in the striving human spirit. Thus, he or she encounters that great masculine principle of life, working through both men and women, which moves forward towards the goal. So, everything's good, and you have some introspection and knowledge as to how to move forward on the things that you want, right? So, those are the past influences, and we've all felt that way before. Then we have the recent past influences, and it's the Ace of Coins. And we know coins is pentacles, and pentacles and coins are money, and ace means that you have mastered it. So we're going to go to the divinatory meaning, and this reading to me is a little bit everywhere. Huh? It's the Ace of Pentacles, and it's a little bit everywhere, but we got two more cards left, and maybe it'll get some clarity. If we don't have some clarity by then as to the message, I mean, there's a few messages here, but we're gonna pull some confirmation cards. Okay, so we have here the Ace of Pentacles on a divinatory level. The Ace of Pentacles argues the possibility of material achievement because the raw energy of this kind of work is now available to the individual. Often money is made available through a legacy or some other source, coupled with the ingenuity and persistence to utilize these resources effectively. So, pretty much what I said. So, this is a recent past influences. You trying to start up a business. You probably got a good amount of inventory. You're making a little bit of cash, and you got to remember that you have to use your resources smart and coupled with your integrity and persistence to continue to move forward and to utilize these resources effectively. So we're going to go to the future influences, recent future. This is going to be the future influence, or the future influence. Okay, so the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands means a lot of hard work, but you're there at the end. You come to the harvest. Ten of Wands. You're gathering it all together, but some, you can't do it all on your own. You need people. You need friends. You need to ask for help sometimes. Okay. So the wands. I'm sorry, I'm off track here. Okay, wands, and it is the 10. Right here, 10 of wands. Yeah, on a divinatory level, the Ten of Wands implies that the individual is overburdened and oppressed by having taken on more than he or she can deal with. The imagination has been stifled by too many worldly concerns, and some of the youthful daring and willingness to take risks has been lost. Certain things may need to be relinquished so that the creative process can be refreshed and the new cycle may begin. Pretty much what it was saying over here. Don't take off. You're biting off more than you can chew. Choose one thing to focus on. If I feel like this is about your business and about your relationship in your business, and you're probably partnered with your significant other. You're having some issues, but you need to focus on what's important. Work on that. Don't take on too much, and focus at the matters at hand and execute them with excellence, integrity, honesty, introspection, and be kind to everybody around you. Make everybody feel like they're a part of your success, and you will be successful. Now, the possible outcome. And I say possible outcome because nothing's set in stone. We're the creators of our own destiny, and where it's our decisions that make things what they are. Okay. So the final card is the Nine of Cups. Beautiful. You know what? I'm just going to go straight to the divinatory meaning. I know what it means. It means success in all aspects. You win. Pick up your marbles. All right. Gemini, this is good. All right. So the divinatory meaning for the Nine of Cups. Cups 9 is right here. 9 of Cups. Boom. On a divinatory level, the Nine of Cups heralds a time of pleasure, satisfaction, fulfillment of cherished wish. It represents the reward for efforts made and the validation of one's commitment. There you go, Gemini. All right, now I understand. You're going to be successful, but don't do too much. Don't try to do too many things at one time. Focus on one or two things to accomplish and accomplish with excellence. Share your enthusiasm with others and be thankful and to those who have helped you, and make sure that they share in your success, and you will always be successful. Take with you the Queen of Wands, who has the warmth. Take the warm quality, the caring quality, the mother quality, and the knowledge and the wisdom and the talent to take this forward and make it a success. So there you go, Gemini. I'm going to give one last word, and we're going to go straight to the Word of God. I'm going to say, Lord, please give us a word for us, for Gemini, to take with us through this next 10 days, to remember, to reflect on. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen. So I'm going to open up the book. Right, I'm going to point right there. And it says, and I quote, This people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teach as doctrines the commandments of men and not the commandments of God. So in other words, there's people who preach but are keeping the commandments of their own laws, but not the laws of God. Okay, so this people honors me with their lips, and you honor God with your mouth, but you do not honor Him with how you disobey His word, but yet you follow the traditions of men. And the God says, do not follow the traditions of man, for I am the Lord thy God, and it's my law that matters, not the law of man. And that's for Gemini 2018. God bless. We love you. Come back and see us next time. Thank you.